this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Get It Right Texoma with the trio Mike Hendren, Terry McAdams, Trey Sralla. Our job here, we get together several times a week to entertain and inform you and talk to you about the news and events happening around Texoma. We also throw in, from time to time, some state and regional and national news and headlines, things like that. But we're mainly here to talk about things that are happening. We try to, on a very local level. As much as we can, and hopefully we do entertain you as well as inform you. So, welcome.
That's the biggest kick. We're trying to do that, right?
We try, you know, but all a steer can do is try.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
We are entertained.
We are, okay. as entertaining as can be. Anyway, it's brought to you by Eddie Hill's Fun Cycles, 401 North Scott, downtown Wichita Falls, EddieHillsFunCycles.com, MacTech Solutions, 4020 Ray Road, Suite 3B, MacTech-Solutions.com, and Lolly and Pop Sweet Shop, LPSweet.com, on Facebook, Lolly, Lollie, and Pop Sweet Shop. Be sure and find us there. Now,
yeah, 4th of July, that's a great idea for 4th of July, for your 4th of July celebration.
It is.
If you want to have a cookout, but you don't want to mess with getting the desserts,
we can handle that.
Lolly and Pop Sweet Shop can take care of you right there.
We got that. We can handle that for you. Yes, we can. We also bring in great guests from time to time on this show. And I wish we had one today.
No, I'm sorry. Setting the bar there.
Expectations are set.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Who's the guest?
He is a great guest. And this is your second or third trip with us.
Well, it depends. I think it may be fourth, but actually recorded that worked twice.
Okay.
So, yeah.
3 that were broadcast. This will be the third one broadcast. Okay. With us, Wichita Falls Mayor Tim. How did I get myself into this mess short? How's it going?
Thank you. I had some help. Yes, thank you. Can't make this kind of mess all by myself.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah. I'm telling you. Hey, but before we get too deep into anything here,
sure.
real quick, just want to clarify something. There's been a lot of talk on social media the last couple of days about another local restaurant closing down.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And people tend to get on, the armchair quarterbacks get online and they want to blame everybody, including the city. Well, the city should have this, the city should have that, the Chamber of Commerce should have this, Chamber of Commerce should have that.
Yeah.
The city government and the Chamber of Commerce have absolutely butkus to do with restaurants coming or going from this city.
Absolutely.
You don't recruit restaurants.
Right.
You don't recruit any of that stuff.
Right.
It happens. 60 Hooters restaurants closed on Sunday.
We're going to talk about that in our next show. Yeah, and I think the Hooters. I mean, we can talk about it now. I think the Hooters concept has changed a lot, and if you look at their business model, it has changed. But I just think that whole
the novelty has certainly worn off.
And I think it has. And obviously, when they're closing nationwide, they didn't say we closed Wichita Falls.
No,
it's a nationwide shutdown of several restaurants.
They closed underperforming stores. So that has nothing to do with the city.
Right.
There's one of the things that city government can do, I guess, that could have some impact on the economy. Probably the only thing you can do has to do with city spending, budgeting, setting tax rates.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That can have an economic impact.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we're in the middle of that right now.
And not preparing for water.
Exactly.
And all that, because
Right.
as businesses come in and some businesses look at that.
We're in the middle of all of those things right now. And you had brought up the number. I don't know if it was 40 or 60 of those restaurants that closed nationwide. But, we do get panned a lot for stuff like that.
Which makes no sense,
Because there have been, several of those things that have closed lately, and JCPenney's and things at the mall. It just, malls are like that nationwide.
Right, but a lot of this is really
a dying concept.
Yeah, a lot of this has to do with the pandemic.
Well, the economy and there are factors that stretch well beyond the borders of this city,
right,
that have nothing to do with the city.
Right.
That are impacting these businesses.
Exactly.
Nothing to do
some of
with
these are chains that they are restructuring or closing places nationwide.
Very much.
Your heart breaks when it's a mom and pop place, when it's a small business. I'm a small businessman. I've been for 33 years. So you are too. You all are. You know it's tough. And there are no guarantees. That you get to stay open or that you make it. And it's dependent on the economy, it's dependent on your service, it's dependent on the value that you bring. So as to whether or not you keep your doors open. So a lot of those factors can't be helped sometimes. I don't know if which has a worse percentage, marriage or small business. I'm not sure. Yeah. Which, I've been married for 33 years too, so I don't keep up with that statistic, but I think they're both bad.
Well, there's just nothing, like you said, there other than creating an economy that's business friendly. A government can't do anything to create or keep a business open or closed.
Right.
It's not like you can say, hey, all the city workers have to go work at Hooters. I mean, you can't spend or go eat at Hooters. You can't spend government money for that.
Then people go to jail.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That might really be awkward.
Yeah.
So social media, mercy. We don't have time to probably talk about all of that. No. But what I do notice when I do look or when people send me all the screenshots of things, what's not there are the positive things, are the fact that, right now we have $747 million worth of commercial construction in this city right now. It's a record. We're going to break that record in about a month, and we're going to break that record again before the end of the year. $450 million of that is going to be the state hospital. We've got Vitro. We've got $43 million at MSU. There's $20 million at City Hall. $34 million at Foundation. Ron Kitchens was on here an episode or two ago. When I visit with him, I love the way he talks about it. That somebody has that kind of money and says, Wichita Falls, I'm going to put $34 million into my business in your community. I don't know how there can be more of a commitment than that. Than to invest your own money because you do it because you see a reasonable chance for success. Yeah, that's why they do it here. So they see things. None of that is on social media.
As the old saying goes, money talks and bovine fecal matter walks. I'll keep it PG.
Yes, it does. Well, I know
one thing that I really want to commend you real quickly about was your comments at the last city council meeting when. The council decided to reduce the water restrictions. Change the water restrictions.
Thank
you. You did a wonderful job there, by the way, reminding the counselor, the fellow counselors, and everybody in attendance and the people that watched, and the millions watching around the globe.
Both of them.
Yeah, but you did a great job there reminding everybody that government was there not to impede and not to get in the way, and because you used the term, I really like the way you said it, the government, can make decisions that can impact things one way or another, and the government, we have to make the right decisions for the right time. And I think you did a wonderful job couching that and putting all that in perspective for everybody. And I just want to say thank you as a taxpayer.
Well, thank you. As the number is 65%.
Yeah,
the number's the number. So when we're at 78%, 80%, Lake Kemp is over 100%. They're having to release water.
Yes,
they're too full. What great problem to have. So, but we passed that 65% number weeks ago.
Yes,
and the government, us, did not. We believe in that number so strongly. We will fine you. If you break it, if you're watering on a Saturday, if that stuff happens, we had to take care of that. So the people will still conserve. I still do. Most people still do. I see them on my block. I see them around town. Nobody's watering in the middle of the day. All of those things are still in. What we removed was the 2-day-a-week watering. I still water once a week, like most people probably do, if that even, with the rains that we've been blessed with. So, but the people can do it without a mandate to have to do it. And those restrictions are triggered automatically. We don't have to meet again when the if the lakes get down to 65%, it's automatic. We don't have to meet to put those back into force. So to me, it was just it took 2 meetings to get it done, but to me it was that was actually one of the no-brainers to be that high above the number and not remove the restriction.
Speaking on that, the first vote was 3-2 in favor, but it couldn't go through because explain that. So because we weren't
didn't have a majority.
Right. It always has to be 4 votes.
Yeah.
whether
you have to have at least four something. Okay,
right.
Gotcha.
Had a quorum, but it still has to.
Yeah, had a quorum to do something, but you didn't have a quorum. You didn't have a voting majority to pass or to.
It always has to
pass
be
something.
that, and that I'm okay with that. It avoids shenanigans.
Yeah.
That can happen if you just have to have a simple majority. So you do have to have 4. That was on me. I called a special meeting, and I didn't have benefit of full council being there. There were a few folks that were, Councilor Whiteley was out of town on his anniversary, God love him, and Councilor Battolino was at the Department of Defense graduating from a leadership program that he'd been involved in for the last couple years at the Pentagon.
So that was
very proud
kind of
him
important,
for
right?
what
He needs to just get his priorities straight. Okay, I mean,
and so like I said, I'm new, I'm learning, and won't do that again.
So did you get?
You don't make those mistakes twice.
So what was the vote the second time?
It was unanimous.
Okay, so you got the 2 that voted against it the first time.
So,
well, there was and we don't need to believe in this, and I've encouraged everybody to go watch it.
Yeah.
But former Mayor Glenn Barham, who's head of the Water Resource Committee, came up. Russell Schreiber did a really good job of coming up and explaining the economics of it. So, just wanted to commend you for your leadership in that and taking the lead and letting people know why we need to do what we needed.
What you did. When even they are saying, this should have been done 2 weeks ago. This should have been done several weeks ago. Yeah. What are we waiting on? When even they are doing it, I think that carries a lot of weight. So I appreciated them.
So our water restrictions are off. We have plenty of water right now, which is good. We obviously we don't want to go crazy.
We're projected to through the summer just to be in the 70s at the lowest. So
and then and you also spoke about all the great economic construction that's going on. Mm-hmm. So what else is new with the city?
What else is new with the city other than
the whole Lake Ringgold thing that's kind of moving forward.
Well, of course, and yesterday the Clay County folks filed their request for a rehearing with TECQ, which was expected, and we would have done the same thing. So it's and we've talked about this, Terry. It's a 3-member board down there. They voted 3-0. It was unanimous, to move forward and to grant the permit to Wichita Falls to move forward with the construction of Lake Ringgold, which we move forward now federally through the Corps of Engineers, which we're doing. But we have to get through this appeals process, that is there, and that started yesterday.
How long is that expected to take, you think?
If I believe what I've heard is that if we win every single step and every appeal, which I have no reason to doubt that we won't, it could still be 10 plus years before the construction begins. So if everything falls in place along the way and there are no more hiccups, which we all know they're going to be, I said, none of us may ever stick a toe in that lake. Unfortunately, unless somebody wheels us out there and sticks our toe in that lake.
But dump you in the lake.
But say probably shove me out of my wheelchair.
It's not for us. It's for our grandkids. It's for their kids. That this is the future. I ran on it. I'm not new to this issue. I've talked about it the whole time. It's something that
it's long-term planning. You're looking decades down the road.
It's not the only solution. It is a very good solution, I believe, from the information that I have.
But now we do have, just to play look at the other side of it, there are the two sitting state elected officials that are in this area have not come out and supported it. James Frank and Charles Perry have not publicly supported it.
But they have not come out publicly against it.
No, true. No, you're right. No, they've not come out to support it, and they haven't come out both against it. So,
and I believe
I don't see if I wonder if you think that's going to be a hurdle in the future. Is what I'm asking.
I don't know. And in conversations with them, they can speak obviously for themselves. They are both for water security for our area, and believe also, like I do, that this is a solution. Maybe, whether it's not the only solution, it is a solution going forward. There are others that should and always be considered as we go forward. Whether and we did check on 22 other possibilities, from buying water from West Texas, from piping water in, from looking at aquifers, which we do not have, from originally it was buying water in Oklahoma. None of those things were as good as simply building the lake. We own 100% of it. We are not I'm just dispelling rumors. The Metroplex has nothing to do with anything that has to do with this lake. Period. It's ours.
Is Oklahoma water just like their beer? Is it a little less nutrient?
It's lower content.
It's 3.2 nutrient.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I believe so. That didn't work either. But it is our lake. So.
Well, that'll be interesting to see. I guess something else that's been in the news lately is a shortage. We're having a shortage of police officers in our city right now. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Right. Well, and as we were talking about small business and large business, it's a national problem. Who wants to be a cop right now? Yeah. After everything that from the pandemic to the riots to everything that happened over the last several years, who wants to do that job? That's a calling. It's not a job. It's you're called to do that. You're called to serve in that capacity. So I believe we're around 20 officers short. With I think there are about 10 in two separate 5 in each of the two upcoming academies, and just graduated 8 or 9. So, but with attrition, people retiring, people that'll be gone at the end of the year, it's tough to fill those. And it's a challenge coming up in the budget. It's like one of those things everybody wants, but nobody wants to pay for. Right. So we just began that, and there are so many other things. They will tell you, speaking to those guys, that it's not just about money, and it's not. There are other things that can be done besides gigantic pay raises and things. There are the creative things that can be done, being able to take your vehicle home at night if you live outside the city limits. Right now they can't. So, that can be important. There's a cost associated with that, with the vehicle and the tire wear and the gas, et cetera. Yeah. There are costs associated.
Is there a legal hurdle on that as well? There's not a legal hurdle on it? Okay.
Well, just curious, what is the basis? Is it for presence, or what's the reasoning behind it? Besides, there's morale, obviously, it sounds like.
It's just a perk of living. They want you to live in the city limits, obviously. But we're in those budget discussions now over the next couple of months as to how to remedy those things, looking at cities that we can actually compare to, and it's not the Metroplex, and they know that. So whether it is Abilene, that's always a good comparison. Sure. But they're over 120,000 people now. So, it's tougher and tougher to find. But security, and we have to be a safe and secure city if we do expect growth, if we do expect those things to be here. Yeah. Our first responders and our police are very important. We're going to work very hard to see what we can do to encourage that growth. Whether, right now there's bonuses. $5,000 to $10,000, depending on experience, for lateral transfers.
Wow!
We've had three or four, I believe, that have done that and have transferred in, which is wonderful. You get the experience. You get people that are those fellows were actually from here originally and were working other places. So that's good too. So we're going to do everything that we can to be able to make that happen.
We talk a lot about the growth of the city, or the lack thereof. It has been for the last several decades now. Yes. It's just been very flat population-wise. And obviously, and we kind of had a discussion a couple of shows ago about this, about how for a lot of young people now, it's more about experiences, it's more about the quality of life. It's not so much about, hey, is there a 6-figure job waiting for me when I get there? It's what does the city offer them? What does the community offer them as far as quality of life? Yeah. I'm guessing that's got to be a hot topic amongst city staff.
It is, and I have younger relatives that I talk to that what I understand, I'm 60. So people that are just getting out of college, people that are, they move to a place that they want to live and then find a job.
Yeah.
Which is total backwards from
we did,
the way that we've all done it, in the past. So it's being able to adapt to that. And that doesn't happen overnight for any city. I think that with downtown, if you've been down there recently at all, I know I've heard you talk about it before, and the ghost town that it used to be.
Oh yeah,
Cannonball.
It's way different now.
You can't do that anymore.
No,
it's busy.
Downtown's hopping. When you see 4,000 people down there at an art walk,
that's awesome.
In July, that's amazing. To be able to see that, they're all looking for shade, but the
nice thing is at that time of day there is some shade down there. Actually,
there is. It's nice, and they'll have live. There's a lot of live music, which is a big draw. There's a new live music venue coming online now that I believe they've already had a couple of shows. That and that's something catering to them because it's outdoors. Folks want to be outdoors to go see their live music now, which is against everything that we ever grew up doing. The Kate, if you haven't toured that yet, you need to. The apartment buildings and dorm rooms that are above the Highlander, amazing what they've done there in remodeling those. I think it was $14 million that was put into that place. It is to encourage some MSU students to live down there. There are apartments and common kitchen area, like a commercial kitchen. There's pool table. That pool on the third floor is pretty crazy, to be able to see that. So those are selling right now, and above those are apartments because I think the Holt is full. People wanting to live in that. So people want to live down there. They want to be a part of it, and it's helping downtown grow. And giving people that experience of things to do here.
Yeah, they just had the big grand opening for Panda Biotech.
Yes,
which I feel like really has the potential in terms of an industry to be a major game-changing industry for this area. Not just Wichita Falls, but the whole region, really.
Yeah. I was there last year, I think a little over a year ago. We got the benefit to tour Panda Biotech. And it was and they fed us lunch and talked to us about things and kind of had a PowerPoint, and they showed their vision basically as to what it was all going to be, and that was pretty neat to hear about.
Yeah. 2
weeks ago, we got to go. It was there, and to see a 500,000 square foot building with I don't remember the exact amount of millions of dollars, $40 million worth of equipment that is in there. This is the largest hemp plant in the nation.
Yeah.
The next biggest one in the entire world is in France, I believe. So, that's pretty incredible. Sid Miller, our ag commissioner, was at the grand opening, and he got to sit at his table. He was very excited about the prospect.
When Sid Miller blesses it in the ag community in Texas,
that's huge.
That's huge.
He said this is not only leading in Texas, this is leading in the nation to be able to do that. They are already having people from other states that are coming in to see how it's done. Every piece of equipment that's in there had to be manufactured.
Yes.
It doesn't exist. They had to build it.
Wow.
And they use, I know more about hemp than I ever thought that I ever would, just like water lately. But they use 100%.
Yeah.
There's zero waste that comes out of the dust is collected and turned into pellets.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Jack Daniel's whiskey distillery factory is the same way.
100%.
100% of it's used, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible. Where I really was very excited about them is that is a 500,000 square foot building. That is huge.
It's a massive building.
They had people come in that were interested and approach them to lease part of their space.
Yeah.
And offer them quite a bit of money to be able to do it, and they said no. and not only know, but we need more space. And they're already looking as to how to expand. And to me, that was extremely encouraging because, some of those offers had to be extremely difficult to turn
I'm sure. Well,
especially when you're in the pre-revenue stage.
When you're when you're the pioneer, in the industry, and the pioneer takes all the arrows in the back, right?
Yeah.
So
that building is a huge footprint, but I think that industry, it's going to be a game changer for us for sure. So.
Yeah, it is, and a lot of people, it's never going to open. It's a big way. They owe us no money. They're done. They're settled up, and they're ready to go. Yeah. So, people, social media, they it was never going to get open. It's never going to make. People told me that I stopped in the parking lot and looked in the windows and I don't see anything. Well, did you go around back? Because that's where everything is.
That's where the action is.
You were looking in the office, and there's nobody in there. They're all in
building
the
stuff in the back. Yeah,
they will gladly give you a tour. I will facilitate that tour if you would like to go out there and see it. Call me. I'll get you in. We'll walk around. I never get tired of going out there. Like I never get tired of going to our chamber. If you're ever downtown and maybe you need a boost or whatever, just walk in the chamber. It's an exciting place to be.
Yeah. Well, what do you most need from the citizens, from people? What do you to make your job not necessarily easier, but to make it more effective? What do you need?
Participation.
Yep.
Willingness to serve, which is usually never a problem here. And it's not right now. If you need volunteers, if you need people on a board, if you need we usually have more applications than for anything that we need.
It's a good problem to have.
Communication, more ideas, the better. The more communication, the better. And so far we've gotten that. So and that helps. We can't have all the good ideas.
Right.
So we crave that participation.
What do we pay you for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
To do this.
Big paycheck. That big paycheck
to facilitate ideas.
You're paying me?
Yeah. Well, we appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to wrap up with before we wrap up here?
No, I'm thankful always for the opportunity. Hope to be able to come back and tell you there are some things that are coming over the next few weeks through October that I definitely will want to visit with you.
Well, we will definitely have you back. I mean, you're I think you're not just doing a great job as mayor, in my opinion. But you're a great ambassador for the city.
Absolutely.
You know how to talk to people. You know how to communicate with people. And that's a huge part of it, of being a leader, is being able to communicate effectively what's going on. And you do a really good job of it.
Thank you. I just want to be positive about things that are coming and get people involved.
Yeah.
You don't tell people what to do. You ask them to help.
Exactly.
And you get them involved in things, and then good things happen.
Yep.
So that's what we're looking for here.
And by the way, quit reposting crap on social media.
Yeah.
If it's crap, investigate it. That's all I ask.
Do your homework on stuff.
If you're a Facebook warrior, please investigate your time. Yes. There's so much negativity, and for some reason it just spirals out, and people want to post, oh, that's bad, and post it. Do a little investigating, make a phone call. There's a lot of people that are involved, and there's a lot of people that are available.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right. Tim Short, Mayor of Wichita Falls, Texas, our guest. And if people want to get in touch with you, Mayor, how do they reach you? What's the best way to do it?
Yeah, so I've said my worst kept secret in this town is my cell phone. Call it. It's 636-7306. Yeah. So it's on the website.
Yep.
Call it.
Yeah, very good.
Yep.
All right. Tim Short, thank you for being with us.
Bet.
Guys, thank you for joining us for this episode of Get It Right Texoma. We'll see you next time. Be sure to follow us on social media, Get It Right Texoma on Facebook. Be sure to like our page. Comment. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you think about the show, what you think about the interviews, all of it. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, guys, take care. We will see you on the road.